parents are vital partners in the children's learning, because we believe that whatever happened in school should also continue on at home, and whatever happened at home should also continue on in school. All right. So if we are involved, I mean, we involve the parents in the child's learning in school, we will be able to make our school a better place for the child to learn, to grow, and to thrive. Right. So there's actually 4 things that I will be focusing on. One is on the key information of our level, lesson focus matters, learning with technology, as well as partnering parents. Okay. If you have joined Mr. Pick's session in the first part of the day, you would have heard him talk about learning with technology. Yeah, so this is something that our school is embarking on, which is very different from MOE's HBL, because if you read the news, MOE HBL is actually more focused for secondary school children and above. But for our school, we thought we would like to start as well, so that we'll be ready once MOE rolls it down to the primary school level. Okay. This is actually a quote from our Minister of Education. He actually had this in September. You know, last year when we had our school closure, it was actually quite disruptive to learning. For the P1s, last year, it was the first time that they had to, they went on the SLS online. All right. So this year, what we want to do is actually be more prepared. Be more prepared for more of such happenings. Okay. And that's the reason why MOE now has a renewed interest in the role of technology in education. As I was actually preparing these slides for today, I came across this infographics, which I thought is quite cute. You know, it says here that our children, who are actually the Gen Z, has never grown up in a world without internet and without technology. And technology is so intertwined in their lives. They're actually digital natives, and they have grown up with smartphone and social media. All right. Technology is something that is happening around the world. So it is something that we should not be afraid of. Of course, we should use technology in the right way. And that's what we are trying to teach the children. We're trying to teach the children that technologies can be used to connect with people, to communicate with others. And also it can be something quite creative that you can use, something that you were not able to use when you are doing paper and pen. Yeah. And it will also empower the children. Although they are young learners, it may be able to empower the children, because last year when we had our HBL, we realized that some children who are really very quiet in the classroom are actually able to have some kind of input some comments, you know, because they are not, they did not speak up, so they were able to actually write their comments on the platform itself. Okay. So what is actually LWT in our school? It's more about new modes of teaching and learning. So not only depending on books, paper, and pen, we are incorporating technology in our daily teaching and learning. Even in class, the teachers are actually trying to use technology as they teach the children certain things. To develop metacognition and critical thinking, to be able to allow the children to express themselves, to provide the time and space for the children to explore. The most important thing that we are doing right now, especially for the primary ones who are new to our primary school system, it is more of the routines that we are putting in place right now. So in the event when there's a sudden school closure, which we don't anticipate, the children will not be caught off guard. The children will be able to know which are the correct platforms that they can use to communicate with the teachers, and which are the platforms that they can log into to be able to get the teacher's instruction. And there may be differentiated tasks for different classes. It need not be, or it may not be the same for all the classes, even though they're in the same level. So for the primary 1 and 2, the routines are quite simple. It is quite different from the upper primary level. We are focusing on online learning disposition, how they should behave when they are online, what are the things that they need to do online. Simple as logging into SLS. This is quite new to the P1s and 2s. Now, previously there was some feedback that says that the SLS is not working, or the children is not able to log into SLS at home because of password issue or user ID issue. Do inform the form teacher, because the form teacher will be able to unlock the system or change the password for you. Okay, for number 3, these are some of the features in SLS that the teachers will be exploring and going through with the children, so that they will be able to use these features when they are doing LWT at home. Where is it for number 4? Where can they find the assignments that they're supposed to complete? And where are the feedback that the teachers have given them? And some classes, especially the P2s, because they are very used to SLS already, some teachers are exploring the Google Classroom. This is another platform where the teachers are using to help children, to enable children to get information from the teachers and class. And one more feature or one more website here is actually Qubits. Some parents have also feedback that they were not able to use the SLS username and password to log in. Again, do inform the form teacher, because they will be a subject teacher for math. They will be able to help you by unlocking or changing the password. All right. As shared earlier, the LWT Days, it is actually 6 times this year in 2021. These dates are non-school days, which means the children will not be, they are not supposed to be in school. The first one being the March holidays. Term 2 is actually our Meet the Parents session for these 2 days in May. Term 3 is PSA oral, and term 4 is PSA LC. So for these 2 terms, term 3 and 4, this is when the P6s are having their exams in school. So the P1s to P5s need not report to school, so they will be staying at home. So instead of them being given hard copy homework or hard copy instruction from the teachers, they will need to actually find all these instructions online, and that is through SLS. This is just a sample. You will see this from the teachers. Okay, a sample of what is the topic or what is the subject and what are the tasks that they need to complete. As you can see, there is no details. For example, English, I just have their poetry writing. So I am not sure what is it that I need to do. So the children actually have to go into SLS. So in SLS, they need to find the instruction and follow the teacher's instruction. It need not be online work all the time, because in the platform, the teachers will be giving the children their instruction. It can be offline work. So once they log into SLS, they find the instructions from the teacher. The teacher may even write, oh, please find a piece of drawing block and draw out your favorite animal and write down a poem about your favorite animal, for example. So it need not be something that they do online, but it is a way for them to get the instructions from the teacher. And the duration here, it doesn't mean that the child needs to spend 4 hours online for the whole one day. It will be spread out, because it is, for example, this plan is actually for term 1. The children will be able to complete these assignments within that week for the 1 week holiday. Yeah. So in that 1 week, they can actually choose the days where they want to complete English homework, maths homework, or art homework. Do take note, this is just an example. The teachers will actually be giving out a hard copy form to every child before the start of the LWT days, right? I hope this is quite clear, because just now I had feedback that it was quite blurred. Now, this is just some infographics on how Admiralty Primary would like your help to help your child navigate learning with technology. And this is what we are also trying to get the child to internalize and help them understand what is learning with technology all about. Okay, it is actually a journey. We are trying it out. So there may be a lot of disruptions. There may be a lot of twists and turns that sometimes we may not be aware of at that point in time. So we will take actions against it. And our key thing is to allow the child to be independent and not to be too dependent on the parents to get the information from SLS, for example. So we would like to say that it is actually a mix of in-school activities and home-based activities. So whatever they do in school, it is something that they will have to do at home. Yeah, it will not be something that they have not tried before. It is something that they have not been familiar before, but it's something that they would have done in school before. And we would also like your child to know where to find answers rather than always going to their parents to get answers. We have put in place certain things, or we would have already told your child, or we will be telling them, how is it that if you are not sure what to do, in which platform, or how are you going to get the teachers to answer your questions? Okay, for example, the P2s, they have their Google Classroom. A Google Classroom can have a two-way communication where the child can talk to the teachers and the teachers can actually answer their questions. So what we want to do is to have, to foster independence in our children. Okay, and to be able to let the child engage in online and offline tasks. Okay. Okay, there were some questions in the Padlet or the form that was given out earlier about how do the parents know what are the things that the child learned at home, in school, sorry, and they want to actually know how the parents can actually help the child when they are home. Okay, so we have in our school, we have this document called the lesson focus document. It is actually some reference notes for the different subjects, and it is actually a way for parents at home to know what is being taught in the classrooms. Okay, you can also help to reinforce the classroom learning and also help your child to practice frequently at home. All right, it is not it is more for the child to be a little bit more independent and to remind the child what is it that we have done in class. So this is a sample of how a lesson focus looks like. You will have the topic and what are some of the key concepts. This is an example of a maths lesson focus for primary 2. And in Admiralty Primary, we place quite a bit of emphasis on the maths vocabulary, the words that we use in maths vocab. So it is also written here. So in the remarks column, there are certain things that the subjects have indicated on how you need to ensure that the child do not use or the child is able to use. All right. Where can you find the lesson focus document? It's actually under our school website, under level matters. And you will notice that for P1 and 2, there's a lesson focus document. So in this lesson focus document, you have all the subjects in one document. All right, so you can actually look through them to find out more about what are some of the things that the children are learning for the different subjects. Okay, some key information. Since 2019, the P1s and 2s do not have any weighted assessments at all. Okay, even at primary 2, at the end of primary 2, we do not have any exams, any tests. So what we do is actually more of a year-long observation, year-long assessment of the child in the classroom, but there is no marks that is given to the child. So what will you get at the end of each semester? It is actually more of a qualitative descriptor to report on the child's learning in all the subjects. So there's no marks at all. So even with the removal of the weighted assessment, the teachers will be able to still continue to assess their children, and also parents will be kept informed of the child's progress. So in what way, in what form will you be given the child's report? You'll be given the report book. So the first one, it looks something like this. So like I said, for maths, there's no marks at all. You will not be able to see, oh, 50 out of 50, for example. It is more of a descriptor. And in our school, we also have this thing called the holistic report, where it accompanies the report book. So you can actually also see some of the strategies that you can use at home to enrich your child's learning. Yeah, so it will be done for English, maths, and the rest of the other subjects. This is something more for information, the EMB and also the GPA. Because there's no marks given, the EMB and GPA is largely based on the learning disposition of the children. So if you have gone to the form teacher session, they may have already shown you the learning disposition criteria or the list that we are using. All right, it can also be found in our Pupils Companion book. So you can also flip through the Pupils Companion book to look at it. So what are some of the assessment that the teachers are going to have in the classrooms. Okay, we are still going to assess them through class discussions, classwork, and bite-sized tests. But remember, these tests are not going to actually be calculated and counted towards the end of the year marks. So what are some of the things that they do? Of course, the class worksheet and topical reviews are important. Some of the things that they do for performance tasks is actually journaling, like for maths, and using of manipulatives. These are also things that the language teachers use: reading, conversing, book talk, pick and talk, and show and tell. And all these are done in class, and the teachers are assessing the children and looking at how far they have actually understood the lesson through classroom interactions and observation. Okay. The last one is about partnering parents, because we believe in being able to work with you, right? So this is something that we do. We work together with a common understanding in developing a child holistically through partnership and shared responsibility, because we want to be able to increase your child's success and achievement. And we also believe that parents and community can work together with schools to create a conducive learning environment. Okay. So what would I suggest is to partner with the teachers as well as the parents. We can work with our teachers. I think the teachers have already given you the means of communication. So do inform the teachers if you need help. So for example, you are not sure of how to understand, you're not sure about the holistic report and you need clarification. Do inform the teachers, and I am very certain that the teachers are able to make some kind of arrangement to contact you. Do seek clarification. The third point is something that we have been talking about with the children. I think the past 2 weeks for the P1s and 2s, I have been talking to them about being responsible. Okay, responsibility is part of our school's core value. So being accountable for their actions, being accountable for their learning. So some things such as simple as doing their homework, yeah, and also packing their bags, having the correct things, correct materials for that day. So these are some of the things that we can work together to ensure that they become more responsible. Do monitor your child. So do give us, or do give the teachers feedback on how the child is moving or how the child is learning. And we can work together in that way. Okay. On that note, there's this services by the Triple P, the Positive Parenting Program, from the Care Corner Singapore. I would like to share this video with you. I might cut short the video, but do take note. In the middle, there's actually a QR code which you can scan if you would like to get more information about this parenting program. And you'll also be able to get this brochure at the QR code. Okay, so I'm going to share this video with you.
Hi parents, this presentation is brought to you by Care Corner Parenting Support Services. Care Corner Singapore is a social service agency that has served the communities and families for almost 40 years. We have been appointed by the Ministry of Social and Family Development, MSF, since 2019 to support parents in the schools in Woodlands and Sembawang regions. Do these situations look familiar to you? Excessive use of phone or other devices, not doing homework, being disobedient or disrespectful, throwing temper tantrum or other emotional issues. These are all the common parenting issues that parents often share with us. Indeed, parenting is joyful and yet challenging at times. This is a non-exhaustive list of issues that we have commonly seen. Let me ask a question. How do we learn how to parent our child during their growing years? Many times, we have learned how to do so through learning or hearing from our own parents. We may also try out different methods to see what works along the way. Parenting doesn't have a manual and has always been a skill that has not been taught. If we need to study and be trained to be an accountant or a driver, shouldn't we also learn how to be parents? I'm sure many of us wish we have some sort of support to help in these challenging situations. This is why we are here, to provide you with the support that you need. We care about your family relationships, and our objective is to support you in building positive and healthy relationships with your children and provide you with strategies to manage your child's behaviors. We do this through our anchor program, the Positive Parenting Program, or in short, PPP. This program originated from Australia and has been widely supported by research in the last 40 years and implemented in 25 countries. It has produced expected and consistent positive results for parents who have participated in the program. PPP introduces strategies to build strong and positive parent-child relationships and address child behavioral, emotional, and developmental problems. Parents learn knowledge and skills that enhance their parenting strategies and become more confident as parents. Of course, what I'm sharing with you now are just basic concepts that many of us might already know. However, knowing does not mean that we are consciously applying this into our interactions with our children. Let me share with you more information about PPP. There are 3 levels to PPP: seminars, consultations, and small group sessions. Seminars are open to all parents to learn about the fundamental principles of positive parenting. The individual consultation is for parents with a specific parenting issue and prefer to work with us on individual basis. If you have a few parenting issues that you need to work on, we will recommend you to join our small group sessions. You will be with 4 other parents in a small group for a total of 5 sessions with another 3 individual sessions to work on specific parenting issues. The small group is the most comprehensive among the 3 as you learn a wide range of parenting strategies.
All right, I think I will stop here. This video will also be available on our school website, which I will post. Do take note of the QR code if you would like to know more about the PPP program. Okay, I will stop sharing for now so that I can see some questions that you may have in the chat group. Okay. Yeah, so if you have any question, parents, you can actually type it down in the chat group. If I am able to answer the question, if it is more a general kind of a question for related to the P1 and 2, I will be able to answer them. But if it's more specific to your class needs or your child's needs, then it will be good if you could contact the form teachers. Okay, I think if there is no question, I would really like to thank everyone for joining us today in the whole session since 2:45 just now. I know we had a lot of back-to-back sessions. We really do appreciate your partnership and your attendance today. So thank you very much. Okay, there was actually there's a question. If you want, may I know the information of the EduSave reward? So in the EduSave, so for EMB and GPA, it is a certificate as well as some monetary rewards. So these are some of the things that there are some criteria like what I have mentioned just now in the EMB category as well as the GPA category. Yeah. So to know more, you can actually find this out more in our MOE website. The criteria as well as the there's actually a income ceiling for these awards. All right. Okay, it is more holistic. There's a question about whether it's related to the child's performance or holistically. It is a more holistic kind of an assessment by the teacher. So in learning dispositions, we look under grit as well as how they work in the classroom and how they are working as a team. Okay. All right, if there's no other question, I think we will end the session today. So thank you so much, parents, for your time. If you do need to ask any more questions, I will still stay on for about 5 minutes, and you can actually type it down in the chat. If there's no other questions, I thank you for your time. Have a good evening and have a good weekend. Thank you, parents.